God's plan, your love story. Welcome to Blueprint for Two.
Welcome back, everyone.
Hi. Welcome back. Episode 2.
Yeah,
This is cool.
I like it.
Yeah, just a little bit. Okay. So, thank you for joining us. My name is Pedro.
And I'm Alicia.
And we are
The
Menas! Wow, we gotta come up with something else. I don't like that.
I think it's cute.
You said that last time.
Mm-hmm.
So today we are talking about singleness, right?
Yeah.
And so the title for this episode is
Singleness, a season of purpose.
A Season of Purpose.
Yeah.
I thought it was a gift, not a burden.
Something like that. I think that's like the tagline or something.
Either way, same thing. So yeah, we're just gonna talk about how you should see singleness and what you should try to do in your singleness in preparation for what's to come.
What did your season of singleness look like?
My season of singleness looked like me doing whatever I wanted and not having to answer to anybody.
Okay.
Being able to go to church as much as I wanted, being able to be as involved as I wanted, being able to go hang out with friends as much as I wanted. Yeah, that was singleness for me, just doing what I wanted.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess. What about you?
For me, pretty much the same. I didn't have I think I dated a lot. I didn't really have a season where I was really single for a while, if that makes sense. I got to know a lot of people. Yeah.
That was a nice way to say it. I got to know a lot of people.
I got to know a lot of people, I guess, exclusively. I wasn't sleeping around, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But, it was just never me focusing on me.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Until I got sick and tired. And then I was like, alright, God.
Sick and tired of what?
I'm dealing with immature men and stupid men. And then I think, and this is a whole other topic, we're not going to go down this rabbit hole, but I think another part of the problem, or not the problem, but maybe another reason why I dated so much was because I tried to put my identity in the guy.
Mm-hmm.
My identity was not found in God. So, yeah, I got to know a lot of people, so I didn't have really a season where I was exclusively to myself, just me and God.
Okay.
Type of thing. I did, when I was single, I was serving in church all the time. It's really all I had to do. Because I didn't have friends and hang out like that, but I didn't go out like that. But I did enjoy little quiet walks in the park. That was nice. I would do that a lot.
I'm trying to think. I don't know that I did a lot by myself, going for a quiet walk in the park. No. Play video games. Yeah, that's what I did. And but even that was with friends and stuff. But yeah, that's where you and me differed. That you try to find your identity in a guy, and not I. That was not me. I was who I was with or without a girlfriend.
Did you ever put your identity in something else? Doesn't have to be a woman. It could have been.
Good point. I guess I would say maybe. So I was in the Marine Corps, so, you know, that persona that people think of, like, oh, you're a Marine. You know, I guess that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but even still, I mean, I think I was just me, and I in my single season, I really got to know me and what I liked, and I think that's what's helped me a lot is like knowing who I am and what I like, what I don't like, what I'll tolerate, what I won't tolerate.
Yeah.
And you know, my friends love me, right, and they know exactly who I am.
Mm-hmm.
They, you know, yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Is there anything you would have done differently before getting married during your singleness season?
Yes.
Okay.
1000% yes.
What would you have done differently?
1000% yes.
That's a strong, like,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. We're like 2 minutes into this thing and it's about to get heavy. So, what I would have never done, if I can go back in time, is, sorry mama, if you're listening, but sleeping around.
Okay.
Because every time I did that, you know, you give a little piece of yourself away. Every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then there's soul ties and all that stuff, but, you know, you give a little bit of yourself away every time.
Right.
Right? And you know I love you and I know you love me, but I don't think that I am giving you 100% of what I could have given you had I not done that.
Right.
Right? So that, don't cry. There's a reason why the Bible says what it says, you know, to keep sex for marriage, because it takes out more of you than you think.
Right.
You know, that's why it's exclusively for marriage. You know, because what happens, it's not just a physical action; it's also a spiritual action.
Yeah.
And you know, there's a lot of connections there, and so yeah, if there's one thing that I could take back in my singleness, would be that.
Okay.
1000%.
Maybe not take back, but change.
No, I take it back.
Okay.
Yeah, I would not have done it. Like, knowing what I know now,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done it.
And you don't think it's shaped you to be who you are today? Those experiences?
I could have had experiences without having sex.
You're right.
I could have dated.
It's a fair point.
That's not, you know,
It's a fair point.
that's not tied to it.
Yeah.
So, did it shape who I am? Negatively, maybe.
Okay.
You know, but yeah, the relationships,
Right.
you know, help shape who I am, but that's the relationship, you know.
Right.
So yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Okay. I would have, and I think I've told you this, I would have liked to have lived on my own
Mm-hmm.
before marrying you. Because, I mean, you know, my parents, nothing against them, I love them. Love you, Mom and Dad. But they were very emotionally, they were very affectionate. Very affectionate. And coming into a marriage where, and there's nothing wrong with it, where physical touch is not your strongest,
It is not.
strongest,
Love language.
eso mismo.
It is my weakest love language, actually.
Yeah. It's okay. You're doing a lot better.
You learn.
Yeah. You're doing a lot better. But, so yeah, I would have liked to have lived on my own before marrying you. I think that emotional dependency that I have on you would be a lot less had I lived on my own or with a roommate or something, you know, but moved out of my parents' house before marrying you. And definitely I would change the same thing. I wish I wouldn't have had the experiences that I had with guys before I met you, because then you don't come into marriage with like a existing thought of what it should look like, of what sex should look like, of how it should feel, you know.
So singleness really should be looked at as a gift, because as I stated in my singleness, you know, I did whatever I wanted.
Right.
Right? I was free to do what I wanted, and I could do that to the fullest capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Whether if I wanted to go hang out with friends, if I wanted to go exercise, if I wanted to go to church, I could do that to the fullest. If I wanted to like really grow closer to God, you know.
You give your 100 everywhere.
100%. You know, foot to the floor, gassing it all the way.
Right.
Right. And that's the great thing about singleness, right? So in 1 Corinthians 7, 7 through 8, Paul talks about singleness as it, you know, being a gift, right? And how it allows exactly that for a person to fully, at 110%, you know, seek after God.
Yeah.
Not that you don't do it in marriage.
Right.
Right? But the Bible also says that when you're married, my priorities change. Because it's not now just me worrying about feeding myself, taking care of myself, and whatever. Because now I've got a person that I've got to look after. You know, and whereas before I might have spent, you know, a certain amount of time praying, now you require attention.
Yeah.
Right? It's not a bad thing.
No.
You know, but so yeah, that's the real gift of singleness right there. You know, it's not like you're not waiting. It's not a lot of people think of singleness as a waiting room until they get picked. You know, to be in in marriage. No, it's not like that at all. It's its own. So if you look at, I'll use the example of a book, right? So it's not, your life is made up of many chapters, many pages, many characters, but singleness isn't like that forward in the beginning before the rest of your story. No, singleness has the first few chapters of your life. I mean, chapters.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And it gets written every day.
That's good.
Every day. And so don't think of it as your life starting when you get married. Right? It starts way before that.
Yeah.
You know what you do. Pastor loves to say, your now sets up your next. Right? So what you're doing now in your singleness is going to set up your next, and you want to make sure that you're as ready as possible for that next chapter in your life.
I think a lot of people think of marriage as like the finish line.
No, that is just the starting point.
Right.
Of that relationship.
Exactly.
Or that chapter. Right? That's just the starting point, because there's a whole life that comes, and I don't want to go too much into marriage stuff because we want to focus on the singleness. But there's so much more that comes after your wedding day. Trust me.
It's not just about the pictures and the flowers and the makeup and No.
Yeah.
Food, no. So much more.
But, yeah, so definitely read 1 Corinthians chapter 7, 7 and 8. And then also I want to give you Jeremiah 29:11. So it talks about God having plans for singles now and not, just when they're married. So, at any point in your life, God is going to use you, and you can continue to develop that relationship with God, but don't wait. You know what I mean?
I think a good question for those who are single in this season to ask God is, God, how do you want to use me in this season of singleness? Put people around me that need what I have to give in this season.
Yeah.
Because when you get married, it's a whole different ballgame. Your friend circle changes. Your just like everything changes for the better. Everything changes. But God, how can you use me in this season? In this season of singleness? How can I encourage someone? How can I love on someone?
It's easier for you to move. And I don't mean like, moving from a city to another. No, I'm talking about like you have that freedom to like go around as a single person and do what it is that God's calling you to do in your singleness.
Right.
Because again, kids, do not misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you don't answer to your parents. You definitely answer to your parents. But you don't really have like someone to answer to. Like I can't just go wherever I want because I'm married.
Yeah.
But as a single person, as long as I tell my parents, hey, I'm gonna go do X, Y, Z, they'd be like, okay, have fun.
Off you go.
Off I go. And I did whatever. You can move around a lot freer. So yeah, definitely seek God, pray, ask for Him to show you the plan and the purpose that He has for you.
Yeah.
The things that He wants you to do, and He's gonna answer. I promise that He's gonna answer. The doors are open, and He'll show you where He wants you to go. Definitely. Absolutely, 100% believe that.
Look at Jesus. He lived a completely fulfilled life as a single man. His bride was the church.
Is the church?
I mean, yeah, right. Is the church. He did it. Lived his best life. Did ministry. Was a carpenter. He had a profession. He moved in ministry. He did it all by himself.
Well,
I mean, with the disciples,
yeah.
but like he didn't have,
I gotcha.
He didn't have a side chick. Yeah. I think one of the things that people struggle with a lot during their singleness, their season of singleness, is maybe loneliness and comparison. Like, loneliness, because, like me, I don't like to be by myself. I
love being by myself.
I don't like it. I had my moments where I'd like to go to the park and go for a walk, but that was like a very short moment. I was going for like 15 minutes and I'm done. I'm out. I walk in, do my looking, I talk to God while I'm walking. And sometimes I would go and just take pictures. I'm a photographer, by the way, somewhat on the side. But yeah, I go, take pictures, have fun, and leave. 15, 20 minutes, I'm out. I'm good. I've had enough alone time.
You never took yourself to like dinner or a movie or?
No.
No?
No.
It is liberating.
Okay.
It's really nice.
So you took yourself to dinner before?
Yes.
Into a movie by yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
And just, you know, doing whatever I wanted.
Man, that's
it's really
me.
it's really quite nice. You can spend time, you know, as you eat, meditating on the word and stuff, and it's a good time. It really is.
Okay. Maybe one day. I'll try it. Maybe.
I don't mind. Go ahead.
No. I want you with me. Anyways. So in Genesis 2:18 it says that God designed us for a relationship, but not always for marriage immediately.
Mm-hmm.
We were designed for a relationship. It doesn't always have to be like a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. It could be friendship relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, you know, thinking about relationships and timing and stuff like that, and during your season of singleness, like you could come across the right person at the wrong time.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not careful, and if you're not discerning, if you're not seeking God to know and understand when His timing is right, you could screw things up. You know, kind of like a.
Well, we'll use ourselves for example, right? So before we met, clearly both single.
Yeah.
But come to find out that we had so many friends in common.
Yeah.
You know, my church is actually, or my old church was 5 minutes from your house. Some of your best friends are my sister's best friends, and we never ran into each other.
God knows.
All we like, I'm talking about not like 2 or 3. I'm talking
Like 10
at
people.
least. I would put it more. I would put it at like 30 plus people.
Yeah.
That we both know.
Yeah.
Before we met each other.
Mm-hmm.
Easily. And we didn't meet until it was the right time.
Yeah. God knows.
God knows.
Because we were not ready for each other.
You would maybe not have liked old me so much. Really cocky.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Really cocky. Not really cocky. I like to say I was really, not, it's not cocky, it's confident. Really confident. That's what I used to say to myself. Make myself feel better. Not cocky. Yeah.
Okay.
Different Pedro, but, you know. Yeah, God's timing is perfect.
The Lord's done a good work.
Mm-hmm. Still working.
Oh yeah. But I was gonna say, it kind of like a plant. When you pull it out too early, and the fruit's not ready, you've killed the plant. Like it's no longer gonna bear that fruit. So God's timing is perfect. Enjoy your season of singleness. And don't compare yourself to anyone.
Yeah, no. Don't. It's always. I will say it's good to push yourself.
Definitely.
To
better yourself.
To better yourself, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But don't compare yourself to people.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna sound super corny, but compare yourself to the Word.
Right.
You know, that's who you want to shape yourself up to be as a man or woman.
Mm-hmm.
Of God is what the Bible says. You know.
You know, I was thinking, I don't mean to cut you off, but I was thinking the other day, and I don't know, maybe, I'm sure if I think this, probably a lot of other people think this, but in the Bible, there's the Proverbs 31 woman.
Mm-hmm.
But the men don't really have, like, a man that they should be like.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking about it the other day, I'm like, well, what about Jesus?
That was gonna be what I was gonna say.
Right.
What about Jesus?
Right. What about Jesus? Like, I don't know. I feel like if I think about it, maybe someone else might think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't think about Jesus, because Jesus is the Son of God. He was perfect. You know? So how can you be like a perfect man? But in the Bible, and I don't know where it is exactly, but in the Bible it says that our husbands are supposed to be the physical representation of Jesus on this earth. Not that you have to be perfect, not that you have to strive for perfection, but be as much as possible like Jesus to me, to your wife, as you can. Mm-hmm. That's what God has called you to do.
I agree.
You know?
Like I said, yeah. That's the best example of being a man as you can get.
Yeah.
I personally really like David. I relate to David a lot. But that's beside the point. We're going to get back to Singleness now.
Yeah. I think another thing that people in their singleness season can struggle with is like the pressures that you get from family to get married.
You know, that might be like what's the word I'm looking for? That might be like it's not a man thing, because I was never pressured to get married.
So maybe it's a woman thing, a girl thing?
Yeah, but there's a word for it, and I cannot remember what it is. Might be a sexist thing. Nah, that's not it. I don't know. Either way, I don't think guys, forgive the barking in the background. We have a dog.
I know.
I don't think guys really get pressured to go into marriage.
Yeah.
So on that one, I think that is more for women, but you know, still nonetheless, you know, don't feel pressured to feel like you have to get married to fulfill and complete who you are. You are a complete person.
Right. All by yourself.
All by yourself, 100%. You don't need somebody else to make you complete. One of the things I told Alicia really early into marriage was, you bring me happiness, but you are not my happiness.
Yeah.
God is my happiness. That's where my joy comes from. You also bring it into my life, but you are not the source.
Right.
So yeah, in singleness, don't look for other people to complete you, and don't feel pressured that you have to get married or be in a relationship.
Yeah.
For that to be the case. You 100% by yourself. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are whole. You know, you have a mind after Christ. You know, I mean, you are a complete work.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that, like, you're right. I think it's more so for women, that pressure to get married. Maybe it's because we need to have kids. Or I don't know what it is. But so for me, for example, I didn't have that like pressure to get married, but I did lose my virginity when I was 21. And growing up in a Christian household, you know that you're supposed to save your virginity for your spouse, for your husband. And so when we had sex, I was like, okay, well, I guess we're gonna get married. Like, because the tension between like his parents and me and like my parents, I was like, whatever, we would just go get married. We'll live in his uncle's living room.
So ghetto.
Like, that was the plan. I went wedding dress shopping and everything. My mom wasn't with it, but hey, my best friend at the time, she was like, I don't agree with you, but I'm gonna come with you because you don't have anyone to kind of walk with you through this season. And she was there for me. I appreciate her to this day because we're still like best friends to this day. And so Yeah. And that pressure was like the opposite. So it wasn't from my parents, but it was me on myself. Because of what I had learned and grown up in the church knowing.
And I think that's a typical thing too is, well, maybe not like just having sex. It's like, oh, this, I slept with this person.
Right.
Now we got to get married. I think that might be more the case of like, you get knocked up, and now you're like, gotta get married. Don't feel like that's the case.
Yeah. There's healing. There's restoration. God, and this is one of the things that I am so amazed and in awe of God, is that He knows the beginning from the end. He knows absolutely every single mistake that we're going to make, that we have made, that we will make. And even yet, He still chose us. He still gave us a purpose. He still allows us to wake up every day, So had I known that, not that I didn't know it, but had I had it like in the front of my head, I don't think I would have gone through all that extra stuff that I did with that guy. Talk about getting married to him. Thank the Lord, baby Jesus, I'm not there. But yeah.
And I think also something that in singleness someone might want to have is, they do have that desire, to have that someone where they can lean on and, like cuddle up with and all that.
Yeah.
Right? But, in the book of Songs of Solomon, I don't remember the verse, but it talks about not waking love early. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's a natural desire. God put it in you, right, to want to have that, that kind of relationship with somebody, and the intimacy. But I'll caution everybody to be careful not to don't wake love before it's time.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah. That sounds right.
Or something really close to it. Paraphrasing a little bit. But, don't wake up love before it's time. Like Alicia said earlier, you could find the right person at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And screw it up. So all that to say, in your desires and, for like intimacy and stuff like that, be patient, because it'll come in time. But wait on God's timing.
Yeah.
Don't try to jump the gun, and like do things your own way or anything like that, or force things. That's the worst.
Yeah, it really is. I think during your singleness season, the best thing you can do is just build strong friendships, strong connections, and above all, seek God first.
1,000%.
Seek God first. Make Him the first forefront of everything. And everything else will be added on to you.
One thing I do wish that I had done before when I was younger is not think that, I'll take God seriously when I'm older.
Yeah.
Right? I'll take God seriously when I'm settled.
Yeah.
Right? Man, the headaches I would have saved myself, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
If I'd just been more diligent in, seeking God from a younger age. We run a young adult group for our church, and I see them, I look at them, and I see the fire for God and the hunger for God, and
Yeah.
And it amazes me. And I think back to when I was younger, and yeah, there was a couple of points when I was like that, but man,
The consistent hunger that they have for God is every week that they show up. They're ready to love on people. They're ready to pray for people. They're ready to, and they come with 2 and 3 people every single time.
yo, it's crazy. It really is.
So, man, enjoy your singleness season. Make the most of it. It's so important.
You know, it's funny because they've even approached me with the idea of going out to evangelize.
That's wild.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, talk about maximizing your singleness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these kids, yeah, a couple of them got, like, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend and stuff, and that's cool, but they're so young. And the majority, I think most of them are single. I think. I don't know.
That's what it seems
their
like.
personal lives. But yeah, the desire to seek God and the hunger for God, and the way they worship, it really amazes me.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me so proud.
Yeah.
So much. But that's a heart after God. That is a single person who, you know, has their priorities in place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's another thing too, is having your priorities straight. Like,
right.
what matters and what doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Because not everything that you're doing right now, or not everything that comes up right now, is a priority.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta think long term.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's stuff that has to get done, but think long term,
Exactly.
right? Like, plan ahead and take advantage of this chapter in your life, being single,
Mm-hmm.
and plant yourself. I mean, deep roots
Yeah.
into the Word of God and into what you're about, right? Dedicate yourself to your craft, and it's just the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, any young person, any single person listening, just that's the recommendation I can make is, like, truly seek God, plant yourself like a tree by the river, and just grow strong. Right? Have a strong relationship with God. Know what you're about. Have your priorities straight. Ask God to show you, you know, what it is that He wants you to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is your purpose, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, the Bible says that this life is a race.
Mm-hmm.
We're all running to the finish line, right? And but the purpose, or when you're in a race, your purpose is, you know, in
Mm-hmm.
the physical, right? You're running a race, and your goal is the finish line,
Yeah.
right? And so you can call that finish line the purpose,
Yeah.
right? Now, I don't know if you've ever seen it, and it's really funny, but those people that do, like, those track runs,
Mm-hmm.
but they do it blindfolded.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, it's wild. And so what ends up happening is, you know, they're looking at the goal, right? And it's a straight shot. All you gotta do is run straight,
Yeah.
right? And then you're looking at it, right? But then you get blindfolded, and then, you know, they fire the gun, you know, shot goes off, and everybody starts running, and all the racers, you know, they start off straight, but then they start, like, veering off to the sides and running into the side fences and stuff like that. And that's what it's like to try to run this race without purpose.
That's good.
Oof.
Dang, man.
That was good. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie.
That was good.
That's what it's like trying to run a race without purpose.
Yeah.
Right? You're gonna hit a wall.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can see that purpose, that finish line, and you know what you're going after, and as you run, you can see it getting closer and more achievable, and it's almost there, and it's within your reach, and you can touch it.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's a speed race. I think it's an endurance race.
Well, yes, I'm just it's
no,
but yeah.
No, I know, but I'm just like, because a lot of people are like, okay, I just want to get to the finish line.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not so much of like I need to get to the finish line. It's what do I need to do to prepare myself to make it to the end of the race?
Yeah.
Because if you don't prepare for that race,
mm-hmm.
you're gonna show up and you might pass out halfway there.
Like if I try to run 3 miles tomorrow, I'm dying.
Right.
Dead.
Right. So.
But exactly like you said, you prep for it,
mm-hmm.
right? You get ready.
Mm-hmm.
You exercise.
Mm-hmm.
And you track your progress. You eat right, and you take care of yourself, and you get a good amount of sleep, and you
mm-hmm.
drink plenty of water. And when it comes time for you to run that race, you can do it.
Right.
And
I think a lot of people too think about purpose and they think about the fivefold ministry. Like, oh, well, I'm not supposed to be a pastor. I'm not going to be a teacher. Like, I think purpose is so much more than just the fivefold ministry.
I would agree.
I think this is purpose.
This is purpose.
Like, if you want to start a clothing brand, if that's something that you're passionate about, that's purpose. Like, let God use you with what you're passionate about. That is what purpose looks like,
mm-hmm.
in my opinion.
Yeah, no, you're right. And something that I've heard our pastor say too is that your gift makes room for you.
Yeah.
Right? So whatever that gift is that God has given you, that's going to make room for you. That's going to increase you. That's going to take you to different places. Whether, like you said, so if you're into clothing, if you're a musician,
mm-hmm.
If you're a songwriter, whatever it is that God has given you,
yeah,
right? Like move in that,
mm-hmm.
And to tie this all back in, doing it as a single person is so much easier.
Yep.
Like so much easier.
1000%.
Like I love you, but there's things that I would like to do that I don't have time for.
Yeah.
Don't take that the wrong way.
No.
It's not, but priorities and balance.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely.
Had we been more intentional with our singleness season, we probably could have accomplished those things.
Yes.
Before getting married.
But yeah, purpose. Easier to follow. Or not easier, but you could do it like full throttle.
Mm-hmm.
As you're single.
Definitely. I think the most important thing for those who are in their single season, or the most important thing for them to remember, is that God sees you. God sees you. God has a plan for you. And your value is not found in your relationship status. Your worth, your just like who you are is not defined on whether you're in a relationship or not.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I guess, to close this up, I'll just encourage anybody in their single season of singleness, however you want to call it, to really embrace it, because again, singleness is a gift.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, like I tell you, perspective, right? So if you don't see your singleness as a gift, change your perspective.
Yeah.
Read up on the word and look up what it says about singleness, and I promise you, your perspective is going to change.
Yeah.
And so embrace it, grow closer to God is what I was trying to say. Know yourself, get to know yourself, and because when you have a solid foundation, you know, as you go through life, if you are firm, you know 1,000% that you're a child of God. If you're firm 1,000% on who you are, because you're basing who you are off of what the Bible says you are, right? You are more than a conqueror. You are the head and not the tail. You are above and not beneath, right? You are the lender, not the borrower. Did I say that one already?
Nope. I was just gonna say that one.
You're the lender, not the borrower, right? When you know that for like 1,000%, that's gonna carry into the rest of your life. But you gotta implement that, and you can implement that at any point. But do it in your singleness.
Yeah.
You know, apply it. Be strong. Be firm. Know who you are. Know whose you are. You know, and as you run this race of life, running towards that purpose in singleness, starting out in singleness, that person that you're looking for, they're gonna run up right alongside you.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And just keep on trucking.
Don't let anybody tell you different. That you are less than, that you are not good enough, that you are not where you should be. Just keep pushing.
Yeah.
Like you just said, keep pushing, and God will meet you exactly where you're at.
He always does.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that is it for episode 2. This was a little longer than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah. I think this was a good one, though.
This is a good one, though. They're all gonna be good ones. But yes, thank you for joining.
Yeah, thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Like, comment, share, subscribe. You never know who this will bless.
Yeah.
You know, and we just appreciate the support.
Definitely. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll catch you at the next one.
Peace.
Bye.